All right. Hello, everyone. I am here today with one of my friends, Laurie Ann. Super excited to have you join me today. How are you, Laurie Ann?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I had asked, Laurie Ann and I have spent the last 6 weeks or so. We have connected and I have been coaching her. And so I just asked her if she would come on and share with me and the group just what she thinks about working with me and how it has been for her. And I love that she has her oils with her because I always tell people I can't really help unless I tell you why how much I love these oils and how much they've changed my life. And so Lorianne jumped in and you've been using them and we've been spending time together each Friday. And so I'm just super glad to have you here.
I'm super glad to be here too, and definitely it's been wonderful meeting with you. I look forward to it on the Friday mornings, and yes, and I pulled all of my oils together because they've really helped in this process that we've worked with. Because it was not just about the oils, but
Yep.
but this has been a really big help for me.
And I know one of the things that we've talked a lot about is allowing. I always kind of joke because my name's Amy, so it starts with A, and I have the 5 A's. So I'll share those quick. So allowing, abiding, alignment, alive, and abundance, because you were created for abundance. And so I always tell people that the first place to start is to allow, because when we are just in the moment, not judging ourselves and allowing, then what I say the opposite of that is control. So when we're allowing, we're not in a place of trying to control. And I had spent most of my life, and that's what got me really sick. And so we both have a mutual friend, Mel Mason, who we love. She calls it Allow the Now, which I love her title for that because that's exactly what we're doing. We're being in the moment and we're allowing. So tell me, how has that process gone with you? And have you used oils while you've been doing that?
Absolutely. And that allowing is important for me because, like you, I was very much trying to control things. And the more that you try to control things, the more you end up with anxiety. And that was, of course, what we talked about when we started this is that my anxiety levels, there were a lot of changes going on in my life. Not that I didn't struggle with it before, but I overcome it and then it comes back again and it drifts in and out. So what you want to do is find something to be able to know that, yeah, it's okay that it's here, right? Because having anxiety and feeling it, then it stresses you out that you're anxious, and then you get more anxious. It's like, instead of just saying, hey, yeah, this is what I'm feeling right now. And that allowing, it wasn't easy at first. It really wasn't. But what I liked about it is it's doable anywhere, right? I was telling you when I was driving to the hospital for a checkup and I did it on the way there because I was a little stressed and, also getting out and driving a little further than home. I'm not always used to doing. So just say it's okay and allow the now. And it's been the best thing for me
I
in regards
love
to that.
I love that. So that is so true. It's not easy to start that way. I was just talking to my son about it, and I was explaining it to my husband. I'm like, most of our life we spend like on the outside, trying to fix things on the outside, trying to make this happen or do this or do that, and we get really busy. And then when we start to turn inwards and say, I wonder what's going on inside of me right now that I'm feeling this way. And we take that time for ourselves. And like I always talk abide. It takes time. It's like it's easy to just run away and just get really busy and go do something. But when you actually take that time for you, and then you can reflect on what's going on inside you. So I love that you started doing that. And I know you started doing it each day and you journaled. I remember you talking about that. But then the fact that it translated into another part of your life when you were, had a stressful situation, you're driving to the hospital. So just so neat to see how it's affecting different areas of your life.
Yeah. And with all this, and I'm not saying that this is what helped, but um, I got a clean bill of health on, I had precancer cells in my cervix back 20 years ago, and there was constant abnormalities all the way through. Anyway, my doctor just called me and said everything is clear this week. So nothing. And I'm thinking, all of this, I do believe that you can heal yourself, but you have to find it in yourself to believe it. And I don't know. I'm not saying that this happened, but it's kind of funny that it came along all at the same time. After 20 years of struggling with these abnormalities, it's finally clear.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
happy for you, Laurie Ann.
yeah, me
That
too.
is, oh, and what I say to people all the time, I feel like this is my mission in life, is to tell people how you feel emotionally affects how you feel physically. I mean, it really does. And I've struggled with anxiety, and I didn't even realize I had anxiety until 3.5 years ago when I couldn't get off the couch and my body just completely stopped. And I spent 6 weeks, and that I didn't know the term allow the now, but that's what I was doing because I couldn't do anything else. I mean, I was literally laying on the couch, and I just remember reflecting, thinking something's got to change because I had severe pain. I had all sorts of issues. And when I was able to work on my emotional health, my physical health followed. It was amazing. And so I love that. I'm just super excited for you to see the transformation, see you changing and getting healthy and working on emotions. And you just shared with me that you've been using the oils and you even made a roller ball for your mom.
I did. I love these. This is the adaptive, and of course I'm showing my products because I'm excited about them. So I had the fraction coconut oil, and then I did one with the adaptive and lavender mix for my mom. And she goes, "What's this?" I said, "When you get stressed," because my mother struggles with anxiety too, and 86-year-old and still going strong, but she does have it still. Like you, she was 6 months on the couch. My dad had to even bring nurses in because we were little babies at the time. And so she pulled through that, thank God, without going to the hospital. Because back then, if you went in the hospital, you weren't coming out. That's what my dad said. He said he refused to get her in there because that could be devastating in some cases. I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying in some cases it could be. Uh, I do really want to bring this up, though, is this beautiful copaiba. Uh, Remember, I told you I had this sore on the side of my foot, and the doctor didn't even know what it was. I went to the doctor a few times. It kept flaring up. It's been bothering me for about 2 years. I put this on. It's gone. And that's not a word of a lie. I could not believe it because you said, well, try putting it on. I put it on, and it went away. I couldn't even sleep some nights because the skin was so irritated, and it got to the point where it blistered. And yeah, they didn't know what it was, but it's gone. So
Wow. I
yeah,
love that. I
so
love
I
that.
just swear by this. Really, I really do. Anytime I got a sore zit or anything, and it smells good, and it's lovely.
Yeah, it's different than all the rest. Copaiba is
Yeah.
kind of how would you explain the smell?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I can't really explain smells.
It's
Um, I don't know. It's refreshing. It doesn't taste really good though, but
it's not the best for taste, that's for sure. And I have you put it under your tongue?
I did. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
And then
I put
and then
this.
drink a lot of orange juice or something afterwards.
Yeah, it doesn't taste the best, but it gets right into your blood system.
Yeah.
And so that's a really the fastest way to get, I mean, smelling it for sure, but then putting it in your tongue because it's helped me with a ton of inflammation and anxiety and other things. So I love that you're using them. And then you just told me about, so we when we talk each week, we've talked about, just celebrating the small wins. And sometimes I think, being able to talk them through and we can think, oh, that's not that big a deal. But when you take that time to celebrate and go, oh, and you look back, you're like, yes. So tell me some of those small wins that you had. Cause I remember them like you thinking, oh, that was different. Um, I know journaling was one of them. And then you had some different struggles that like you mentioned going to the hospital, but anything else that you'd share with the group here that, um, that you've noticed a change since working with me?
Uh, oh my goodness. I mean, there's like I said, going to if I'm feeling any stress or anxiety or anything, it's going to that space is very important. And the journaling, and even I've done some sketching and drawing too at the same time because sometimes to me instead of journaling, sketching is an easier thing for me to get my thoughts out. So, and then the diffuser has been wonderful. I didn't have one of those. So that's been wonderful. Even in breathing, like you could really tell, when I put it on, I breathe slower, I breathe better, because I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if I'm doing something, particularly if I don't like it, quite often I find I'm not even breathing. Like I am, but you almost sit there and go, I didn't breathe for an hour, but it was because you were doing, and then you take in the deep breath. With the diffuser going, you tend to have more awareness of your breathing. So I love that. So that's been a real bonus. It's just, and the nice thing is too is I can mix them, right? So I've got all these little oils, and I'll mix them with the wild orange and my lavender. Love lavender. My mom loves lavender too, so that's perfect. And the adaptive, I just love that. The only thing that I was sort of sad about is, although I got the Serenity in the pill form, my digestive system didn't quite take to it very well. But I use the pills and I take the liquid out of it because they're gel pills. So, and then I just put it on. So there was a way around it. So I don't know that, I've got a very sensitive digestive system. So pills don't do well for me. Even when I was taking my vitamins, I could sense them there for a while and taste them. Like I repeat them basically.
And there's one oil that maybe I haven't told you about too. It's called Digest Zen. It's a blend. And so I was the same way when I first started taking vitamins. I just felt like my stomach was and then I'd burp and all those things. But you can actually buy the oil and you can make the roller ball like your other roller balls and roll it on the outside of your tummy, but then also take it internally after you can do it before or after you eat. So Digest Zen has been huge. I mean, when I first started 4 years ago, I was at the point where I could only eat 4 different foods. I mean, I was basically living on soup because I could not digest the food. And so when what happens is when we deal with anxiety, I mean, think about the last thing that we need, we're kind of in that fight or flight mode. And so the last thing that we really need to do is, if the bear is chasing us, is digest our food. All the blood needs to go to the rest of our body. And so I've run into that. A lot of my customers have had digestive issues. And so I don't think we talked about that. We've been talking about so much of the other things, but yes, that one, they have them in the soft gels, which I know those probably wouldn't be the best. So that's why I'd recommend the oil, because then you can make the roller ball and you can put it in your water. It has like peppermint, ginger, fennel, anise. So it really helps your body break down and digest food. And then there's something also called digestive enzymes, and those have been huge in helping me. So that's why I love to stay connected. That's why I encourage my customers stay connected, because there's so many different uses of these oils. And I love how you brought up the breathing, because when I realized that too, it's like my shoulders are up to my ears, and then I'm taking those shallow breaths, and then I wonder why I get headaches.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are doing so awesome, and I so thank you for sharing with everyone. It's just been a blessing to work with you.
Oh, it's been a blessing, Rick. I really appreciate all the time that you've given me too, and the little extras, and the not just littles are big. I'm just saying the extras that you've gone beyond that, sending me information and constantly staying in touch. That's beautiful. And for anybody who's watching this afterward, this is definitely not a sales pitch, because I am not easy to be sold on anything. And I have done essential oils in the past, but I've never, ever, I'm going to say it again. I mean, I love all of them, but never have come across the Copaiba. I am just in love with it. And the adaptive, those are, if you ask me what my 2 favorite are, those are my 2 favorite that you introduced me to, that have made a significant difference. Always love lavender and all the other smells. So that's a bonus. But yeah, never have I heard of that. And it's been fantastic. It's been a blessing.
I love that.
Thank you so much, really.
Oh, I so appreciate, and I just thought of one last thing that maybe you could share with the group. What is one tip that you would give? Because when you're starting a new habit, it takes some effort. They talk about the 21 days. And so when somebody's brand new to this and they're like, oh my gosh, it just seems like there's so many different things and I don't know how to do it. And then they don't know really, like you've incorporated it into your life. I see that you have your diffuser, you're making the roller balls. What would you give as like suggestions to people that are just kind of starting and thinking maybe I should try these, but it seems kind of like a lot?
Okay, that's where I liked with where we started because I've been, I not to say anything, but with another company that was with the essential oils, and it was like, oh, you have to buy the whole package all at once at the beginning, right? What I liked about you is I said, I'm not ready. I want to take my time. You told me that's where we started with the adaptive and the copaiba because I told you about the two main issues that I had. And then slowly but surely I built on it. So it wasn't overwhelmed. And then as we were going through and chatting on the Fridays, I would tell you about, some other things I was dealing with. So slowly but surely I added to my collection. And I think that was helpful because, you don't have to jump into it. You don't have to go, oh, I need to get everything. And then, because I believe that if you jump into something too quickly, you're going to quit quicker too. Not everybody, but quite often that happens. So take your time and get to know what works for you is, I think, is the main thing, right? So the serenity was important for me for my sleeping. Oh, because that was the other thing too. I was having all these dreams and they were not good dreams, remember?
See
And
how we kind of forget almost. Yes.
right. And that was one of the big things, excuse my dogs. So this serenity, like I said, when I take the pills, it I can't ingest them, but I'll put them around and even here, and it's made me sleep. And honest to goodness, my dreams are, can't remember the last time I've had a really scary bad one. I mean, I still dream a lot, but they're not like the nightmarish ones. So that's made a
Oh,
significant difference. Seriously. Yeah.
that's what I mean when you coach with me, when we talk about these, you get to take that moment and that celebration, because it's amazing how we can kind of forget, right?
I
And
know.
then we go back and we're like, oh, that's where we were, that's where you were. And that had really, I remember that now, 6 weeks ago you had, that was a big part of affecting. I mean, you said you got sleep, but it wasn't the same restful sleep because you'd wake up upset. And so what a difference that's made in your life. Oh, it's been a joy. It's such a joy to see your beautiful face and your smile and the progress that you've made. So thank you for sharing with me and the whole group of all that you've been doing. And I super appreciate it.
Oh, and I super appreciate you too. Thank you. And I'm so glad that we've connected. I really am super happy about that. Thank you. You're
Thanks,
so
Laurie Ann.
lovely. I love being around you. So there you go.
Oh,
Although it's a distance, but as close as we can be on here on
yeah.
a broadcast, it's just been lovely. And thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. My joy. All right. Thanks, Laurie Ann.
You're welcome.